Well, welcome to you this beautiful morning. It's Tuesday, 18th July 2023. Time check is 5 minutes past 7. Welcome to Front Page Review on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. Quite juicy stories, controversial and mind-blowing this morning. My name is Aliu Doma.
Good morning. My name is Gesira. It is Tuesday, of course, the 18th of July. You're welcome to another edition of the Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. And usually we don't do this alone. We are usually joined at 7:30 by Rufai Hosseini to help us do justice to the headlines. Let us understand what exactly is going on with his expert opinions. So basically, there's so much happening in the country today. So many juicy headlines. So many. Anyway, there's this particular headline.
Yes,
right?
quite bizarre, as in I fell short of words really when I saw this headline. Why we faked our abduction, demand ransom from our parents, minors. This is contained on the Vanguard newspaper, and I'm sure it's got across a lot of papers this morning, but we're taking a look at this one from the Vanguard. It says, 2 female minors who stage managed their abduction in Oka Akoko, Southwest Council area of Ondo State have confessed to maltreatment by their mother. The girls aged 15 and 13 years who are in junior secondary school 3 and senior secondary school 1 were amongst 28 suspected criminals paraded by the state security outfit codenamed Amotekun in Akure, the state capital. Vanguard gathered that the girls, after the act, demanded 100,000 naira as ransom from their parents. According to the 2 girls, we told our parents that we've been kidnapped to punish our mother who used to maltreat us and has made life miserable for the 2 of us. One of the girls in an interview said, I was the one who initiated the plan because I wanted to punish my mother who has been behaving as if she is not my mother. I never wanted to use the money for anything but just to punish her. 18 suspects were arrested for kidnapping and 10 others for illegal possession of firearms, cult activity and housebreaking, amongst other offenses. But this is a really touching story. How on earth, what are we turning into? What is the world turning into if an 18-year-old and also a 15-year-old could stage manage their abduction just to demand ransom from the parent? I feel this excuse she's giving that the mother is maltreating them is might not. Yes, it's just an excuse just to justify their criminal intention. But it tells us how these things are turning into, like, a 15-year-old. Imagine in the past, you can't not think of that. Even as an adult.
I was trying to think back to when I was 15 and imagine if I could even cook up this kind of thing.
It's not possible.
Plan your kidnap and then call your parents. Do you know what it has what it entails, right? A kidnap, a believable kidnap. There has to be a message sent to your parents to let them know that you've been kidnapped. Maybe there's proof. Maybe there was some scuttle, there was some struggle here and there, and your parents are seeing the signs in their house. And then they get a message about your kidnap and they ransom. And then your parents go ahead to pay it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The level of criminality going on in the world right now is crazy. Because people just wake up and just throw caution into the wind and just start doing whatever it is that they want to do. Because how exactly is punishing your mother? You're asking for money. You say you want to punish your mother. You cannot say you want to report her to the police. You can't say you want to report her to say what do they call it, child services. You cannot say you want to you want to maybe go and report her to the pastor of your church or the imam of your mosque. You went all the way to demand 100,000 naira ransom.
This manage this thing. Even
you are a criminal.
Took themselves to a hotel where
Can
they
you imagine?
stayed, calling the mother and their traditional, that is the community traditional ruler there, even threatening that they will lose their life.
Them.
Yeah, if they don't bring the ransom. As in, this world. It is only God that will help us. But again, parents will have a lot to do in terms of who our kids hang around with and what they do. You need to sensitize them. You need to tell them all of the important things they need to know in this life. Gone are those days when we just sit and look at kids and say, no, they are children. What kids are doing now will surprise you, that a 5-year-old would do something that you, when you were 10, you weren't able to do that, but today it is possible. So you have to, don't just look at your kids as they are 15 or 13. Try to expose them to the reality of life. Tell them this is this and this is that. Differentiate, expatiate from between black and white to them. Let them understand in clear terms, this is the boundary, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. It is not only the teachers in school that would help you train your children. You also have a role. The society has its role to play as well.
But then again, this is what you get when there seems to be a level of lawlessness, disorderliness in the country, especially as it has to do with hunger, especially as it has to do with, just idleness when it comes to the young ones. So they're so idle that they can think, cook up some. Imagine a 15-year-old going along with this. My brothers are 20 and 20 something, but I can't even imagine that they would do this. I can't fathom. Anyway, we're jumping on our headlines this morning. This one says Abia uncovers 2,300 ghost workers. Abia uncovers 2,300 ghost workers. This is from Punch newspaper. Abia state government says it has discovered 2,300 ghosts in its payroll system and weeded them out, thus saving over 220 million naira on monthly wage bill. The state said the ghost workers were detected following ongoing verification of civil servants in the state. The Abia State Accountant General, Dikenesunjum Onyemenam, stated this in Umuahia, the state capital, on Monday. Onyemenam, who spoke after a meeting with the state governor, Dr. Alex Otti, said that the verification exercise was still ongoing. So far, we have been able to save 220 million naira from the ongoing verification of workers in the state, local governments, and pensioners. Not less than 2,300 ghost workers have been weeded out from the payroll using the unified payment system, and we hope to still identify more as we continue with the exercise, the AG said. She confirmed and reiterated the governor's directive last week that workers would be paid the arrears of April salaries left behind by the immediate past administration, as well as June pensions to retirees. She also disclosed that local government workers who did not get June salaries due to their failure to submit their verified payment schedule will receive their salaries this week. First of all, I would just want to give kudos to Alex Otti. He's doing a very, very good job so far with some of the decisions he's been making since he resumed office as the governor of the state. Having to pay arrears owed to the civil servants is a very, very good thing, and it's something that we don't see a lot of governors do. They just come and they continue from where the other governor stopped. And at this point in time, you have to know that Abia State is one state that is very, very peculiar. They had a lot of arrears owing their civil servants. They had a lot of issues with development. They had a lot. They were riddled with a lot of issues. So having to have a governor who seems to be wanting to speak the voice of the people, then maybe it's a good thing for them. But this issue of ghost workers is one that is consistently rearing its ugly head in the Nigerian civil system, right? For years, we've fought ghost workers. For years, Nigeria has lost a lot of money to ghost workers. For years, this is not just now. It's not just today, but it's an ongoing thing. Last year, the IPPIS saved Nigeria 220 billion naira. 220 billion. There were about 70,000 ghost workers, cumulatively from all the states last year. Now, seeing that we've had so many issues. 2017, there were issues of ghost workers. So right now, what we need is a way to sort of weed them out. Seeing as the payment system it's not doing enough. I mean, it's doing a lot, but it's not doing enough to weed these people out. And then to now find out the accounts that these monies are being paid into. Who do they belong to? Who is withdrawing the money? Let's know, so we can at least punish them for taking monies that they didn't work for. Because it's one thing to weed the accounts out and then shut down those pipelines, channels through which monies are leaking, right? So how exactly are we fighting it? How exactly are we fighting that issue of criminality where people are taking monies that they didn't work for? So does the SSS have anything to do with it? Does the ICPC have anything to do with ensuring that people who are taking these monies, those ghost accounts, who exactly owns them? who is taking the monies from those accounts? It's very, very important that we start having these conversations.
Yeah, really, issue of ghost workers in Nigeria is not a new thing, especially in the civil service, and the government needs to do a lot to weed some of those ghost workers out of the system, simply because some people, some selfish individuals, will just be enriching themselves with monies that are supposed to be for other purpose. And another thing is that we have to, at this age, at this time, we have to imbibe technology to help us fight all of these things. We should have automated systems that will be able to detect some of these things, because if you look at it, there are fictitious, some will tell you there are fictitious ghost workers. These ones, they don't even exist. Just a supervisor who is in charge of a particular unit might just add a name that does not even exist entirely to be collecting money.
Exactly.
So if you have, for instance, now you have a system that if each staff comes in, he check in using his or her fingerprint. You just check in, and when you are leaving, you check out. Automatically, this thing is connected to the system. You know that this person is a staff here, and you're able to identify, because every human being has a unique fingerprint. So automatically, you don't have fictitious ghost worker. Another one is that you may have termination ghost employee, which is in a situation whereby somebody is already working, but he or she decides to leave that organization for another, or decide to terminate his or her employment for any reason of his choice. Then the salary will continue to come, and that person will still continue to collect, or the account people will now divert that money to their own personal pocket. And sometimes some people lose their lives as a result of death. Some workers are dead, but their money keep coming. Those people in the account department who knows that this person has actually passed on, will continue to collect this money until the family members will show up, and they will start going up and down to cover all of this thing. So how do we tackle all of this thing? Is by using technology. Yes. Try to automate our system. If, for instance, this person is gonna retire at the age of so date is gonna retire, when that day comes, automatically you don't need to tell him, go and process your papers.
This is already in the system.
Everything is automated. You just see it, and you just give the person his retirement letter or certificate or whatever it is that you're going to give that person. So I think we should be able to use technology to help get rid of this issue of ghost workers, but because it is something that is very visible in Nigerian civil service, from the federal civil service down to the state and also deep down to the local government. It is there.
Some people say the reason why we do not want to be automated, we do not want to use technology, is because of this issue of people pilfering hands, that are getting their hands on monies that are meant for workers, right? People have talked about the fact that when you walk into a walk into a government-owned any MDA, right? You just see people not working. You see them just lazing about. You see them, there's still the old way of carrying files, papers. In a situation where you have to pay a secretary, you want to see the oga at the top, you have to pay a secretary, grease palms, before you now go ahead to see the oga. Issues like that will not happen if everything is automated. You file, your appointment is scheduled, and then you go into the office as at when due. Is it as at when due? The point is, we need to get to that level of technology where everything is seamless. It's just the workflow is easy for everyone. It's easy on the accounts people. It's easy on IT. It's easy on the secretary herself, except she wants money from you. But the point is, we just need to get to that level where we are at par with what is attainable in other countries in the world, where they're using computer. Everything is computerized. Everything is digitalized right now. We need to forget this crass way of doing business.
All right, before we move on to the next headline, Abuja, we will open the phone line so that you can also call in and say what is on your mind. We need to hear from you, because this is Voice of the People. We give you the voice, we give you the platform to be heard. The numbers to call: 0700 010 961 961, 0700 010 961 961. You can call normal call. You call us via the WhatsApp portal. We will answer your call, and you can as well send messages, SMS or WhatsApp message. We will certainly read them out. From Abia State, let's move to Enugu State, still within the southeastern part of the country. Enugu governor counters sit at home, inspect markets. In an effort to ensure total implementation of the sit-at-home ban in Enugu State, Governor Peter Mbah yesterday Monday toured various parts of the state capital to monitor compliance. The governor, who was at the Spa Mall, Roban stores at Bisala Road, Market Square, ShopRite, Zenith Bank at Ogui Road, Celebrities, Ogbete Market, Garki Akuno War Market, Mayor Market, Abakpa Market, and the State Secretariat commended residents for complying with the sit-at-home ban. However, some business places in the city were still shut on Monday, despite government's threats to permanently shut businesses that refuse to open in the name of observing sit-at-home. You know, sit-at-home is the brainchild of the indigenous people of Biafra to demand the release of its detained leader, Nnamdi Kanu. At the Enugu State University Teaching Hospital, Esut Park Lane, there was a rowdy scene as workers scrambled to sign attendance register at the office of the Chief Medical Director, Professor Hipsint owner, to avoid being sanctioned by governments. And the Punch correspondent gathered that the workers were told by the management of the hospital that any staff who failed to attend work on Mondays henceforth or any other day in the name of sit at home would lose 25% of their salary. Nobody want to be surcharged.
At this point, right,
Yeah.
you don't want to lose your money because the money is already not enough. You don't want to lose it. But then again, are you thinking about ensuring their lives, that they will not be hurt? Are you trying to ensure, even though he said he's also talked about the fact that there's enough security to ensure that if there's any non-state actor trying to cause unrest on Monday, then that means that there's security to combat that. I saw videos yesterday showing that people were actually coming out to work.
Yes.
They were going about their businesses and no one was attacked. But let's look at posterity now in hopes that next week Monday, people will come out again. Next upper week Monday, more people will come out. They will start having hope, having confidence rather in the governor. It's not just to say no more sit at home. It's to ensure that their lives are not lost, their properties are not lost, they're not hurt in any way, their businesses are thriving. It's said that 10 billion naira every Monday is lost from the southeast due to the sit at home order. So we need to start getting back to that, that time where Monday was actually a work day. Some people have said that they wish it was done in Abuja because the hustle and bustle on Mondays it's absolutely crazy.
But really, if you look at it from the economic point of view, it's really affecting the economy of the southeast, especially Enugu State, which is one of the hub in terms of businesses in the southeast. Enugu State governor has to be commended for standing tall, even though at first when he gave the directive, there were some part of the armed gunmen who came and attacked a lot of business people and scared them away. People became scared and were unwilling to come out. But he said, "This is government, and we have to impose. We are here for the greater good of the people, so you have to come out and do your normal businesses as it were in the past." And this is going to should serve as a wake-up call to other southeastern governors to also follow suit, because this is a very huge thing to do, a noble thing to do, to use that word. A lot of businesses are being affected negatively as a result of that, affecting negatively the economy of the southeastern part of the country, and many homes not having to go to transact businesses on those days. It's crumbling the economy. Yes, I know it's going to have a huge impact on the Nigerian economy as a whole, as a country, but first of all, before it gets to Nigeria, it's affecting the southeast first before it comes to other parts of the country. So I think it's a good move.
Aliyu, at this point in time, right, even though it's a good move, what are we seeing governors doing to ensure that people get to work safely? We saw an 8:30 deadline that the governors gave, that if at 8:30 you haven't signed in, then you would lose 25% of your salary. Well, some people had to sleep at hospitals the night before so that they can make the 8:30 deadline, sign in, and then find a way to rush back home, so that pro-Biafran enforcers of the sit-at-home order would not see them on the road. Somebody was talking about the fact that the government didn't provide safe vehicles to commute them from wherever big bus stop to their offices. So if governors can actually find a way to inculcate that into having maybe some policemen in the vehicles, to ensure that they are not attacked, or having maybe a police van following some of the buses to ensure that these individuals are not attacked by pro-Biafran enforcers, right? To ensure that these people are safe, to show that, okay, we are ready for you to come to work. We're ready to protect you. We're ready to provide you with all that you need to ensure that you get to work safely. And there's also the issue of having to the schools, right? Having government-owned secondary schools that opened but did not record full attendance. And then you have the governor saying that he was threatening to shut down businesses, threatening that businesses that continue to shut their doors on Mondays risk being permanently shut. All these threats is it's not auguring well with the people, because you cannot be threatening them while not putting in place things that will ensure that they follow that's your directive. You are saying they should come to work, right? What are you doing to ensure that they come to work safely? The governors should look at ways that they can actually ensure that people get to work safely. Getting a police van to escort these vehicles is not a big deal. You have people that governors have their entire, what's that thing called when they have convoy? Yes, the convoy. You have your entire convoy, police and orderlies following you up and down. But the people that actually need this, you're not providing that for them to ensure that they get to work and school safely.
If we look at it from the point of the government as well, we don't have enough security to do that. Well, really, they can use patrol. They can use patrol, but no, there's going to be visibility.
I think that this issue of governors always saying, the police is always overstretched, the whatever is always overstretched, is also boiling down to that headline we had yesterday that was talking about having police withdrawn from VIPs and some other non-state actors that have that are VIPs that have police attached to them. Situations like that, we need to ensure that the police is for the people, the masses. It's not for some certain individuals who are quote unquote VIPs. They should go and get themselves private security. They should not look at our police. They should get themselves private security.
All right, Gisere is blowing hot this morning, and this is Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. Front page review is what we looking at, and we will be going on a short break. We're gonna pay some bills, but when we come back, we will link up with our guest, analyst and person of Rufai Useni. Stay with us and don't move a muscle.
Traveling to Lagos and desire a perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant?
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at VOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. VOP TV, show up, speak up.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream. Delight in every school. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream.
At number 4, Obomosho Street,
Area 8, Geriki, Abuja, or 3rd Avenue, Gwaripa, Abuja, or Federal Housing Estate, Phase 2, Lube, Abuja. Call 0908-831-5906 or 0908-831-5908 or 0909-238-9861. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at romeospizza.ng.
website
www.romeospizza.ng. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Welcome back. This is still Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. We're trying to get to our guest analyst in the studio this morning. Good morning, Mr. Rafai.
Bless you. How are you?
We're fine. Thank you so much. How's your night?
Well, bless God. We are living with inflation-ridden country, but it's going to be well with all of us.
Mr. Rafai, are you feeling the inflation? Are you feeling it in any way? Hello?
Am I feeling the inflation?
Yes.
You be big man.
Let me answer you.
You be big man.
Am I not in Nigeria?
Boy, you be big
Sir,
man.
you're a big man.
Am I not in Nigeria? Let me tell you one thing that happened recently.
Yeah.
I had a filling station and I was chatting with some fuel attendants and I decided to record it and the video went viral. Do you know that people drive bulletproof cars to the filling station but they can't even fill their tank? If you ask them, Oga, you want to fill up, they tell you, no, just put 30,000, 40,000. So if people that can, an average bulletproof car is well into over 100, 200 million naira. People that could afford that, even if it's the driver car that Oga sent them, even Oga is having a tough time with petrol prices. So let's be realistic. We are all facing it. Me self now I feel I'm past.
All right. We have a headline this morning talking about Kuje inmates that have bagged varsity degrees and 200 are now enrolling in Noun University. First of all, I just want to talk about the custodial center and just how it, because we have correctional facilities, no more prisons, right? So how far do they go in the correctional aspect of it, like ensuring that these people get an education after being in the custodial center for a while? Education is one of them. Handwork as well is another thing. Just how correctional are the correctional facilities?
Or is it just the nomenclature change?
Exactly.
No, in all fairness, see, it's actually very correctional. And when you said, could you please some inmates back degrees, it's not only could you please. In fact, I was invited. I forgot to talk about it on there. I was invited to the graduation ceremony of some of the inmates that got degrees from the Lagos prisons here.
Okay.
It's a memorable occasion. So people get rehabilitated. People get their lives changed. I've done some work as regards prison ministry, and I've even donated to a lot of prison reform causes. And from time to time, people get transformed and people pass a new direction to their life. But the problem with our prisons really is just pretty much about the welfare system, the way it's run, the administration, and the fact that most of the infrastructures are decadent. But when you go to the original understanding of prison, I'll go historical now.
Yeah.
A system is supposed to be an ideal place where people don't get reformed after a crack. Prior to this time, they used to, if you have lived in 1617 England, you will have seen a lot of public execution until Jeremy Bentham were part of those that pushed for the need for a reformation through prisons. And in the early days, prisons were very comfortable places. In fact, I heard in some cities in America that people had pipe-borne running water first before that part of the city. So I'm not saying it will be locked, but I'm saying setting basic comfort that will be able to lead to an atmosphere of reformation for a lot of people that have gone to prison. And going to prison is not the end of the world. So that story, I'm excited about it, and there's a rich partnership between prison inmates and those in the National Open University, and they've been able to do well for themselves.
Okay, that's quite commendable.
Yes.
All right, let's talk inflation, because we started from inflation before going to talk about that. According to statistic released by NPS, Nigeria's annual inflation rate rose to 22.79% in June from 22.41% in the previous month. And the statistic office said the June inflation rate showed an increase of the 0.38% points when compared to May 2023 headline inflation rate. On year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 4.19% points higher compared to the rate recorded in June 2022, which was 18.60%. Where are we headed in this country? What should we do to tackle this menace of inflation?
My brother, to tackle the menace of inflation, we can do. As first, we must make price better. I'm not talking about price control. I'm talking about government incentivizing people that provide products that really affect inflation. One of them is food, eggs, the tubers, and all of that. You know, I kept on talking about rice and beans and the tubers,
yes,
and tomatoes and vegetables.
Yes,
those are the things that trigger inflation. The question is, can government be able to remove the system of middlemen, build storage facilities for farmers, and try as much as possible to incentivize in such a way that prices can be greatly reduced, and fix the problem of insecurity? Because all of this is also caused by the fact that farmers are actually the farm because of the massive level of insecurity. And that's what I thought they would have used this $800 million to do, rather than say they want to share it. Because if you share the money with people, it alone, it doesn't have feel more. It doesn't lead to any production, and that's what the private government thinks. It doesn't lead to any production. It doesn't lead to any production. But if you use that money to build silos and use it to help farmers, it increases productivity. If you share that money, 8,000, 12 million families or 12 million houses, it's just going to be consumer oriented again. Those people will use their money to buy already inflated goods. Why can't we use that money?
Hello? Hello? Can you hear us?
CBN always uses.
Sorry, we didn't get that. We didn't get you for about 10 seconds or thereabout. Could you please retake your submission?
This textbook analogy,
yes,
central banks all over the world always use, that once you have inflation, you increase interest rates. It's not been working in our own regard. But anyway, the CBN recently reduced CRR further for merchant banks so that they can lend more.
Yes.
But even if the truth, the cash to average has to be said. When you look at it, they are still borrowing at heavy interest rates. So that's the problem. What we need to do, incentivize key sectors. Incentivize key sectors and cushion the effect on people. Before you know it, inflation starts to come down. But we're battling inflation. There's still a review of the inflation baskets. Because if we do, we will see that it's going higher than what. And also the pass-through effect of subsidy removal in June has not really kicked in. Most at the old stock. It is a month like July and the pass-through effect and it's going to kick in. So let's be careful. We're dealing with a lot, but we can do it as a country.
All right. In the middle of dealing with a lot, the Nigerian army has intercepted a truckload of ammunition to the southeast, and there's been other, situations, same situations where the Nigerian army gets ammunitions and guns that were, Yes, customs as well. I saw a video of some of the guns that they seized yesterday. This issue of guns and ammunitions being in the hands of non-state actors, how exactly can we fight it? Because we can't continue like this. It's one of the issues why insecurity is the way it is at the moment.
And that's the sad reality. We have too much non-state actors. In fact, we saw some of them lift arms and display arms in video. So how do we read? At first, our borders are too porous. Block leakages with our borders, the of small arms and arms in general. Secondly, track the arm ecosystem and cartels. Who are those that make up the system? Like this big boss on this arm. They should also investigate to know who are those behind it. Apprehend them and deal decisively with law. Also, improve economic empowerment. You see, when you improve economic empowerment for a lot of people, it makes it very difficult to be able to perpetrate crime. Because there's a direct correlation between poverty and crime. For further reading on that, you can go and look at there's a study called the broken window effect or broken window syndrome. I forget the name now. That if you go into a society and you see a broken window, obviously you know it's crime. It's a crime rate in society. So there's a direct correlation. And once you can try as much as possible to rate all that, then society becomes I'm not saying the crime rate, but greatly reduced. So rather, all these people with arms carrying guns, why can't we build businesses? Why can't we build factories? Why can't we let them get busy and work and make a profitable income? Because if they do, society becomes a whole lot better and productivity increases. And that's why I argue with people and I tell them that, see, our population is not a problem. In fact, our population is a blessing because if we harness it properly, we have a lot to work with. But the problem is we're not training our population. Government is not investing enough in the education of people and the education of the mind. And we're creating new businesses and new sectors. And we are not supporting entrepreneurship. We do that, we'll reduce crime. And all of these things are possible. I believe Nigeria.
All right, talking about all of these things are possible. There is this headline on the Guardian newspaper that says NIDA sees MSMEs contributing $53 billion to Nigeria's economy if digitized. As small and medium-scale enterprises make up a huge percentage of businesses and economic growth, the Director General, National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, Kashifu Inua, has said digitization of MSMEs will increase revenue by 26% as well as reduce operating costs by 22% and contribute $53 billion to the Nigerian economy. Inua stated this while giving an opening remark at Tech My Be Speech-a-thon event in Lagos held at the Digital Transformation Center Nigeria, that is DTC Nigeria, which was jointly funded by the European Union and the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. NIDA, as a government entity, what would you say concerning what they have done so far? And based on this estimation, do you think it's possible?
Yes, it is more than possible. And NIDA has done a lot. The NIDA GG is a very, acquainted line, Yeah. In fact, in Lagos, with one of the people, FM Lagos, we have partnered with NIDA and TechNet on events that we co-curated for the tech. And NIDA has been doing a lot. And numbers are correct. You see, there's so much potential. But the problem is that we are not ready to have it, and we don't have gas. All we have are politicians that only think of themselves and personal aggrandizement. But we need thinkers that will be able to harness all of this. Small businesses have a lot to add to our economy. Every economy in the world, small businesses play a major role. In Germany, it is small businesses that pretty much add a lot to the economy. They are called Mittelstand in Germany. In South Korea, they are called chaebols. But guess what? General Park in the 60s, anytime he got subventions from other countries, he invested in small businesses. And that's why you see those businesses that started as chaebols about 50 years ago are multinationals. Look at the likes of Samsung. Look at the likes of Hyundai. Look at those businesses. They are multinationals today. The question with us is, how many businesses have we turned into multinational businesses? That's the question we should ask ourselves.
Yeah.
How many businesses have we impacted so much that we can turn into multinational businesses? The more we do that, the better it is for us. See, the Brazilian government started Embraer in the 50s. Today, Embraer is a worldwide renowned plane manufacturer. The Spanish government started SEAT. Although it's been sold now, but the company still exists. Well, the more we create those businesses, those small businesses, and we give them an enabling environment to grow, and we allow them compete effectively, then we can reach 53 billion or even more billions. There's so much potential in this. I keep telling people Nigeria is not a hopeless.
All right.
Because we must harness our resource properly.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This particular headline, the EFCC, suspended EFCC chair has spent 33 days in custody, and nothing further has been said about his particular arrest. What exactly do you think about this? Because we're seeing something quite okay, not so similar, but we're also seeing the DSS in another case with a Godwin Emefiele as well. So it seems as though these people just want to retain them and not tell us what exactly it is that is going on with their cases, individual cases. So what do you think about this?
I think this high-handedness by the DSS should stop. We remember the rigmarole with Emefiele that started in December last year. That they tried to arrest him once he came back to the country. Although they debunked the story. But that story was out there. And they even went to the courts to say for terrorism charges, supporting terrorist groups. But remember how the judge told them that there's no substance to this. Finally, once President Tinubu entered, they had their way. They arrested him. Till today, have they still be able to bring terrorism charges? The only true culture, the way I know of, is about possession of firearm, which is not terrorism charges. So, what is the problem? What has Bauer done? the DSS must be able to tell us what Bauer has done. And probably, I'm sure Bauer's lawyers are watching. And they too should be able to go to the help.
All right.
And maybe when they get an order like that, that the DSS will now bring out a charge. We can't keep doing this to ourselves. And the DSS must redeem itself.
All right, finally, on the Punch newspaper, we have this headline. Yesterday we talked about it a bit, but it wasn't fully confirmed. But now we have full details. Audit report nails Adamu Omisore as Tinubu governor's shop for new chair. That's the headline, and we have some liners say aggrieved National Working Committee members welcome Adamu's removal. NEC meeting postponed indefinitely. Kyari Funtua takes temporary charge. New leaders to emerge at emergency convention.
I beg, let's stop lying on audit reports. When people want to blacklist somebody in the country, they say all sorts of. But the reason that nailed Adamu was because he supported Ahmed Lawan right before now. And Tinubu needs to consider his base of the party. It's not about audit reports. Politicians will bandy words around. But the question is, where are the investigations? Just like how Mr. Wike said, oh, the PDP party chairman there stole money. Now that he has left the position as PDP party, you used to see Mr. Wike say, let's press charge against him.
No.
He's
not talking of NDC.
So when they say audit report, you see, there are three things they used to try to smear people. They use scandal. They use money. They use sexual scandal. All right?
Yeah.
So when people are fighting against their political opponent, they use all sorts. They use all sorts.
But how about the fact that...
And you see, when they do it, they make it very loud. But when you dig to the nitty-gritty of the matter, you see that it's because the party. So is it all of a sudden now that the audit report? Didn't they know the audit report was there? Why didn't they say it prior to the election that Adamu took their money? Why didn't they say that the audit report didn't balance prior to the election or after the election? It's now that they are fighting that they remember audit reports. I beg, spare me.
But Mr. Rufai, would the president be so threatened as to remove, the chairman of the party, looking at the fact that since he's the president, he's the leader of the party, on a bigger level than, Adamu was. So would he be so threatened as to remove him from that particular position?
No politician, I repeat, no politician wants any modicum of confrontation. So anything that acts as a modicum of confrontation, especially in the case of a politician that likes to be in charge, like President Bola Tinubu, he will fight it off. So he couldn't stand the confrontation with Adamu in the political party. That's why he did what he did. It's just pure as simple as it.
But Mr. Rufai, part of the fact they gave was that the audit report was supposed to be presented to the National Working Committee and the NEC before being taken to INEC. But Adamu instead, as the money they generated from the sales of form before the election, he did not present the audit report to the NEC and NWC to see to it. He went straight ahead to forward it to the INEC, which he boycotted the provision of the constitution of the party.
So that's enough to push him out, right? Show me one party chairman that has not done worse than that. I ask you. So that's enough to push him out, right?
No, that's part of the justification.
That's enough. So that's enough justification to push him out. No, in your own thinking.
But he resigned. Nobody pushed him. He resigned. He sent a resignation letter.
No, he resigned.
He was not fired. He was not fired. He resigned.
No. He resigned under pressure. Under pressure. That's how he resigned. All right.
Yeah.
He was told. The reports confirmed that he was told that you will not want a case when you come to the meeting and you'll be embarrassed.
Wow.
Yes, that was why he resigned.
All right.
So he didn't just resign like that. People called him at the back and said, Oga, it's best you resign. If not the case, you come to the meeting and you'll be embarrassed.
All right.
So if he wanted to voluntarily resign, he would have voluntarily resigned all this one. See, what you need to understand is that there's more than meets the eye. There is no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
There's another report that says that President Tinubu actually didn't meet with a couple of governors and said, let's sort out this Adamu's matter before he left. But it was a report. But let me tell you also something. It is based on the inferences and what you hear from conversing with the politician. Because you forget in a hurry. Let me tell you this today. As journalists, we know too much. Because when politicians want to gossip, it is us journalists they gossip with.
Yeah.
But the day we remind them of what the gossip us about, they call us fake journalists and unprofessional.
Especially when they switch to the other side of the divide.
Yes. When the going is bad for them and they want to gossip, they want to confide. It's us journalists they're confiding. But the day we remind them of what they said as they were telling us all these things, that they were saying, oh, say this. This is my part of the story. This is my own angle. When they are sending us WhatsApp messages, oh, this is my own side of the story. But the day we remind them their own side of the story,
feign ignorance.
they say you are unprofessional and you are fake. And let me tell you something. If they have not called you unprofessional as a journalist, that means you have not made impact. The indication that you are making impact is when politicians have to abuse you and say you're unprofessional, or they attack you, or they go personal with you, or calling out the truth. And that's why we must not be deterred. So, my dear, it didn't just happen like that.
All right.
Adamu didn't just wake up one morning and say, yeah, I want to go now. No, there were pressures, there were internal pressures. And if they claim it's because of audit issues, I've asked you in your own logical estimation, if everything, the goal was good, so that was enough to remove him, right?
No.
So let's not deceive ourselves, my brother.
Investigation will also be carried out before all of these things will be proven. There are a lot of issues there to look into. Although we don't have time, we have to let you go.
I have to go, my brother.
We have to let you go at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rufai. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
All right, that was Mr. Rufai on the phone right here. You hear it all the time here from Voice of the People 96.1 FM. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent. We have to pay some bills. And then Emiro Wiro, I had to learn it.
Yeah. I think you deserve a clap for mentioning that name. You pronounce the name correctly. Although I'm not a Igbo, I don't know whether you murdered it.
Anyway, we'll be having the Igbo Amaka coming up next at 8 a.m. Make sure you keep it locked. It's a front page review in Igbo. If you want to find out what that is all about, then you have to keep it locked right here. My name is Gesere Agua.
And my name is Ali Duoma. Do well to stay with 96.1 Voice of the People. Abuja, now you have a voice. Do have a lovely Tuesday ahead.